In case you missed it, the police are questioning Snoop Dogg and Diddy for the passing of Tupac, with news stating Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's murder after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing. As new updates are happening in Tupac Shakur's murder case, rappers in the industry from Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, and Diddy are about to be arrested and questioned, as the reasoning was revealed by this journalist revealing Tupac was with the feds.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
With leaks of Tupac being a Fed going around the industry, he was dealt with for $1 million, which was a bounty placed by Diddy.
On all four of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those four is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
As in the new legal filing, it reads, former LAPD cop claims Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million. Suge retaliated, having Biggie dealt with. This would hit news headlines fast. Even 50 Cent reacted as it states, 50 Cent says he doesn't like Diddy because he had Tupac gone.
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. Last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? You saw that clip? Yeah! I gotta stop doing that kind of thing. I've been talking to a therapist to try to help me with the I'm saying. I said crazy no reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it about Puffy because he got Tupac killed.
With the internet in a frenzy, this one interview from Diddy would go viral where he's confronted about Tupac's death.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
However, the way Snoop Dogg relates to the crimes is crazy, as this podcast got the feds interested in Snoop's involvement.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
As Snoop mentions, he was supposed to be in the BMW, but after last minute changes, he didn't go, which was due to an issue Snoop talked about here.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me, how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
With it all going down within only a couple days of Tupac's murder, the police got suspicious, because Snoop used to be tapped into the streets 2 decades ago, as many believe Snoop could have been tipped off that Tupac was going to be targeted, which is why he didn't get in the car. And when Snoop says how Tupac hated him only a couple days prior, it's concerning.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I want to do some music with them. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to me, out at you, And you talking about you want to do a song with him? I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
But the evidence in the Diddy trial gave the courtroom chills as Keefe D explained how Tupac was taken out by Diddy. On September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Vegas with Suge Knight. They went to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match, and once it finished, they spotted their ops in the lobby.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Security had to break apart the brawl, and Tupac went back to his hotel to change. At 11 p.m., Tupac and Suge hopped in the BMW to head to Suge's club, where the murder went down in the middle of the street.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
With the incident being unsolved for decades, the police finally investigated a Keefe D interview with DJ Vlad, where he details the night from the car that took out Tupac.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together.
Okay. This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. We was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac?
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
Keefe D even said that Tupac was only hit because he was allegedly pulling out a firearm of his own while they were stopped at a red light.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
Tupac was likely reaching because he had a feeling something was going to go down, as it was the same man who they had just been in a brawl with a couple hours before. But to confirm that Keefe D was a part of it all, a police interrogation leaked from the night of the crime.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in
of
the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
But more than a decade later, Keefe D spoke out, revealing how he feels about the situation now, as he regrets what happened.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Because it took a lot of people's lives, dude. I hate that happened. Probably to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
But this thread also broke down every single piece of evidence that relates to Tupac still being alive, as a 2010 interview with a rapper named Tretch has him saying something crazy. Tretch and Tupac were close friends back in the day, and at the end of his interview, the cameraman forgot to stop recording. In the footage, you can hear the interviewer asking Tretch about Tupac, to which Tretch says something crazy.
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question. Is Pop still alive?
Nobody knows. Y'all good? Yeah, we good. We good. Thanks a lot, man. We good. Last time I saw him, he was in church.
Only 3 weeks later, a video was released of Tupac supposedly hanging out in a parking lot in Cuba.
Zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaws. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
This created the Tupac is alive in Cuba theory, and in 2025, it doesn't seem like just a theory anymore. Because even Suge Knight believes Tupac is alive. Over the last 2 decades, there's been multiple times he said he believes he's alive. As he states, when I left that hospital, me and Tupac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But what's weird about this is that Tupac was supposedly in a coma. So how in the world could he and Suge be laughing if Tupac was unconscious? It doesn't seem to add up. But in a 2008 interview, Suge said the exact same thing.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
And only a couple weeks after Suge leaked that information on Tupac, he nearly lost his life in a club when a man used a firearm in his direction 6 times. Although Knight kept quiet on the situation when talking to police, as he knew it was likely from him talking about Tupac in an interview. But Suge Knight Jr. made the same mistake, because in 2018, he posted that Tupac was still alive and living in Malaysia. Suge Jr. posted another photo showing a text conversation where someone said, "You said too much, time for you to go." So with Suge Jr. panicking, he posted photos of Tupac with current day celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce, but he made it seem like he was in danger because he captioned the Beyonce photo saying, "He never left us. They'll be after me soon." But many people were split on whether to believe Suge Jr. or not, because it seemed crazy what he was saying, yet he'd be the one to know more than anyone else in the world, considering who his father is and since he was right at the scene.